Hi, this is Trepacer. Welcome to Trepacer Saturday Horror Reviews. As mentioned in my vlog, I was going to go to the movies today and see It Follows. I think that's, as It Follows, I think that's the name of the horror movie. But I had to help my sister move today, so scratch those plans of going to the movies. I'm going to go to the movies tomorrow, and hopefully I can see As It Follows. I forgot I think that's the title, but I think I'm confused about that. But anyway, so I do want to see that movie, and maybe I'll see it tomorrow. Maybe it depends. I want to see Fast and Furious, which I also bought my ticket for, actually, but I got a discount on it, so it's okay. So, I only paid $2, so I didn't really lose that much by not going, but I had to help my sister move, so that was a bigger thing to do, so I did that. Anyway, so basically I had to watch a horror movie when I finished, and boy, my arms are tired from moving. Anyway, I did watch a horror movie, and what I did watch, and a special shout out to Falagar517, Sammy, aka Sammy. He sent me this because I had, a few weeks ago, I had reviewed the original 1922 version of this movie, and this is the 1979 version, I think. Yeah, 1970. Sorry, I'm trying to see the date on this thing. It's 1979. Hold on, let me see. I think it's 1979. Yeah, 1979. Yeah, 1979 version. Okay? And what I'm talking about is, of course, Nosferatu the Vampyre. Nosferatu. This nice, beautiful steelbook that Sammy got for me. Okay, thank you, Sammy, for that. Anyway, this story is, about Dracula. Actually, the 1922 version, which like I said, I would watch first, which was directed by F.W. Murnau, was actually changed because, due to copyright reasons, they didn't want to get sued. Based on the Brian Stoker's version. So, but this version they didn't have to worry about that. So, Werner Herzog, famous director, German director, actually wrote and directed this version. And in this version, they do call him Count Dracula. Okay, and it's the same story, basic story. In the 1922 version, it was the vampire was changed to Count Orlik, and that was played by Max Schreck. In this version, this movie stars Klaus Kinski as Count Dracula in this. And you have Isabel Johnny in it and Bruno Gantz, and basically it's the same story. Okay, it's Jonathan Harker, played by Bruno Gantz. He gets told by his boss Renfield that there's Count Dracula wants to buy property, this abandoned property that it's across from where he lives. So he has to send him basically to Transylvania to make the deal. And his wife, Lucy Harker, played by Isabella Adjani, in the beginning of the movie, you see she's having like a nightmare, and she doesn't, she can tell her and her husband are close, and when he comes home to tell her that he has to travel all this distance to make this deal, she tells her she has a bad feeling and she doesn't want him to go. But he reassures her, no, listen, I have to go to make this deal, and he wants to make this deal to provide his wife with a better life because he'll make a big commission on this deal. And so you basically have the same story as you had in the 1922 version, with him going to meet, instead of Count Orlik in this one, Count Dracula actually in this one, played by Klaus Kinski, who is really, really creepy looking. Okay, let me show you a nice picture of him. There you go. I still think Max Schreck looks more horrific, although Klaus Kinski does look pretty, horrific in this one as well. But I think Max Schreck in the 1922 version just totally creeps me out. But anyway, like I said, Jonathan Harker goes to meet, Count Dracula and to cut the deal, and the usual things happen. He provides, nobody wants to take him. The villagers want him not to go up to the castle, of course, and of course he goes anyway. And he meets Count Dracula, who's of course Count Dracula is very weird. He provides him with a meal, and he cuts his hand, and of course the sight of blood makes Dracula freak out and starts, of course, deciding to suck the blood from his hand. Okay, and weirdness, it's the same weirdness ensues, and he actually gets to see a picture of Lucy Harker, his wife, and decides to take the castle and basically leave Jonathan Harker stuck. Okay, and you have the same basic story, except in this version of Nosferatu, Lucy Harker in this version, played by Isabella Adjani, is more proactive. She's not as a shrieking violet in this version of the tale. She's more proactive, put it that way. Okay, and finding out what's going to happen, what's happening. She's constantly worried about Jonathan when he's gone. Okay, and I don't want to spoil what happens later on in the movie, but she's more proactive, and she's not a shrieking violet like in the 1922 version. That version of I don't know if that was Mina, because I know they always change it to Mina and Lucy. They kind of switch them up, but in this version, Lucy Harker is not a shrieking wallflower. She is actually proactive, and in this version, sad to say, they make Jonathan Helsing, Van Helsing, kind of a wimp. In this version, he's non-believing and wants to, he has to be proven everything to him. So, but the movie has great atmosphere. I like the shots that are made by Warner Herzog in this. It does give the movie a nice, creepy sense of foreboding in this. And Bruno Gantz, who's kind of stiff, but once he becomes, let's say, infected by Dracula, then his character gets more interesting. Okay, but I think it's really Klaus Kinski and Isabella Adjani who make the movie for me, because they, like I said, Lucy Harper she's proactive, she senses things, and she tries to save her husband and battle the vampire, and it makes for like a more interesting story. And but I have to say though, the outcome, without spoiling it, is not the same as the other original. Let's put it that way, and it's not. Well, I don't want to spoil it, but let's just say it's different, okay, without spoiling it, okay. But overall, it's creepy, and I think it's definitely worth watching this version as well, especially if you've seen the other version, the 1922 version, which I do have, okay. And I definitely think it's totally worth seeing, and I'm going to give it a 7.5. I thought it was interesting, and I totally recommend it, especially if you're a fan of the original. Okay, and this one is like slightly different, had different some changes in it. Okay, but again, great creepy atmosphere, and totally worth watching. So I'm gonna give Nosferatu the Vampyre a 7.5. Let me know what you think. If you've seen this version, what do you think of this? Do you think this version is better than the 1922 version? I think the 1922 version, especially for its time, is okay, and I think this version is slightly different, and in a good way, actually. Okay, and okay, and 7.5 for me. Okay, anyway, let me know what you think. Feel free to leave comments down below. This is Trepacer saying so long, and take care.